here's another video. It's been a little while. I've been very busy. Haven't been on Skylines a lot since Christmas. But I did start this map before Christmas. This is Yokohama. And I had to put it on hold. I've been asked to do this by somebody. But I have looked at Yokohama in the past, and I do really like the shape of it, the harbour, the amount of water to land ratio, and what the Skylines map covers. So I was very happy to do this project. This is also my first non-US map, and most of the reason why I don't do non-US maps is because Terrain Party doesn't generate the terrain properly. So with this, I'm using the map overlay. At the moment, the map overlay is not on, so let's just put it on and I'll show you. I usually put it to 8%, something like that. So here's the map overlay. It does make life easier using the overlay. I actually prefer, I think, the overlay than the road generator, because the road generator simply just creates a mess. Whereas if I've got the overlay, it does save me time, because I can just copy it, copy where the roads are, but I can do them properly the first time. So as you can see with this, there's still a lot, way more than half. I don't think I'm halfway. I think I'm a quarter of the way. Although the coast is finished, which was a lot of the time on this map. And it also depends how much detail I decide to put into the roads and rail. I do sometimes tend to go a little bit too detailed, like here. I've put in a lot of the roads, but I think as I spread out wider, I'll just focus on the main roads and the main rail. But it's still a very tricky map. There's a lot of tunnels, areas where roads go over highways and land goes over highways, so there's tunnels, and yeah, there's a lot going on here, and having to do a lot of terrain modification. It's not going to be perfect, but when you look at Yokohama, it's a mixture of flat and hills, and they're usually, if I actually let's go into Google on YouTube there, Google Earth, Let's give you an example. It's really complicated. You got a lot of double layered highways, lots of complicated highways around the central area and coast, lots of tunnels. It's really difficult to recreate things like this, where the highway goes into the ground and you've got these sorts of situations. Snakes around here. It continues to be kind of partially underground. It goes along here and pops up under this building. It's very, very tricky. I'm just going to have to do what's practicable, and then you're going to have to, whoever plays this map is going to have to tinker around in game mode with some of these things. And it's the same for a lot of these canals. Some of them get quite thin, and they'll have to be added in game mode, because the water, as people know, especially map makers, the water doesn't really act like water. It acts more like a kind of syrup or jelly or whatever it is. So for instance, this bit, which is interesting, right in the center of Yokohama, I wasn't really able to do that accurately. I'll show you in a minute when I go back to the game. But yeah, there's like flats and cliffs, retaining walls, whatever they are. I'm trying to find you a good example. Where are we? Here's a good example. You basically got flat suburbs, and then you've got this cliff. That's a power line coming across. This cliff here that they've retained, you know, with all of this geotech, whatever you want to call it. And then the suburbs continue up there. So I've tried, let's go back to the map. Where is that? Where is, that's, I don't even know where that is on the map actually. Anyway, I've tried to keep those areas accurate. So, you know, I've left a cliff here, for instance. And really, this is going to be the way the map is. It's just going to make it a bit easier, I'm going to just have to do flats and plateaus. That's, yeah, if I go into the terrain setting, in fact, it actually looks better on the wind setting, I think. Wind setting, here's what you get. Look at this, very messy. Well, I'm going to tidy it up. Where's the areas I've finished? Yeah, like there's an area that I've finished. Don't know, I'm not really explaining it very well. Anyway, this is another small city in, I don't know what it's called, just off of the Yokohama central area. Adding trees. Yeah, I've spent hours and hours on this already, but I don't know when I'll be finished. I really can't say. It's just a very tricky map. It's not quite like I've done before. A lot more time is going to be spent on this. I hope it's going to be really popular by the time I've finished it, so I really need to do a good job on this. I don't want to cut corners, I don't want to release the map too early. So after this though, I'm thinking of doing a series of airport maps, non-US airport maps, which are dedicated to the DLC, the new DLC. So I think I'm going to do Heathrow, Schiphol, maybe Frankfurt, one or two others I'm thinking about. So I might just do those dedicated airport maps after this. Right, so there you go. I'll leave it at that. I think this is just a quick fly around so you get an idea of where I'm up to. Yep, that will do. Cheerio.